I am evaluating on my performance.
And the reason why I think that would have fitted better, because
there's multiple things to start off with that I think went really well.
And then also,
first of all, I think the songs that we performed
me what
went
music
really well
I like,
because
and I said Metallica, Slipknot.
there were a great
and
choice of songs,
and everyone said
they loved
especially with
Slipknot,
Slipknot,
and my
and
songs were well
it would have
written,
been
and we
better,
already knew what
but the only
we
reason
were
why
playing,
we couldn't
and
have
you know we didn't make hardly
didn't
any
have enough
screw-ups,
time
and that's
to
why I think
practice that
the
one,
EP
as we were
songs
mainly
went well,
focusing on
and
getting my
and the Paranoid
EP songs
pretty well for majority
ready
of
and
it,
perfect.
because we did a cover of Paranoid.
Also,
There was a few
another thing that I
screw-ups
think
went
like,
really well was
I made a couple power
the
chord
lighting and effects
wrong power chords
were timed
and start
perfectly,
my first song, especially
but I
with
went
like
straight
the
to
lighting,
the right
like,
power chord.
made the atmosphere.
Also,
like,
in a
set the mood, and
Paranoid,
especially from like
we
having the red lighting from like my album cover. We
and
got
also
solo wrong.
They had
echo effects.
well, the solo
on
was
some of
too
the
late,
phrases
and
that I said
like,
did a wrong part
when I
of the
said
song
Razor
Jackson
Bite,
did, but then we just
echoed
carried on playing
in one of my
and
verses
Jackson,
for
I was
one of
just
my
looking at Jackson
songs
waiting
from
for it
the
to start, and I
EP.
was like,
and I think that was just amazing.
It's time
just
to
set it perfectly with
come on,
echo and
solos
everything.
here, and he played it.
And then
he said there was a few
also
screw-ups in the solos.
the vocals are very
but
clear. Like
I didn't really hear it.
I also talked about the context of the song. So when I
looking back at it,
spoke about it,
there was a few,
when
but
I sang the song,
fits fine.
It was
so
more spokenly well,
I think
clear,
perfectly
and
fine.
everything.
People knew what the song was about, and they
do a lot of live performance.
feel that
I can't
because they
blame
can
him
hear
as
my
much,
vocals
and
quite clearly.
Which
also,
was
lighting
amazing,
and
and
effects
was
why
also
I
it
think
was
it went
great.
well, because
There
when
was
you're
some issues.
listening to the song,
Some of the
you
lighting
don't
and
listen
effects
to the
was
song and
what I
enjoy the
asked
chorus
for.
and everything. You
Like
got every song has a
some
background and yellow
that's what I
and
wanted to
whatever
go
into the
for.
mix and into the
I
lights.
think
And
I
all I asked for was
target pretty
specifically
well.
red,
and obviously with
for the entire
the
thing,
vocals
apart from
pretty clear,
purple for Paranoid,
thrash
metal
metal
vocals is something I can do
and
quite well,
and not have a sore throat.
like blue lighting for.
But with all the
intro
good
and
things, there
verses
was
for
things
No
that
Hope Left,
which is one of my
didn't
EP
go
songs,
well, and
I
what
think
I
it would
could've
just
done to
fitted
improve
the
it.
atmosphere a
But
bit
with
more
the things
better.
that didn't go
with
well,
the songs,
it was
another
just like
issue
nicky bits
was
that
that
I could poke
lighting
at.
effects was a bit
Not
too
a lot.
close to
So,
the lead guitarist, which is
personally,
why
in my
I
opinion,
think he had a few
for the
screw-ups.
cover song we did
Paranoid
by Black Sabbath.
The solos, the lighting was too much in his face,
Originally,
so
I
he
wanted
couldn't
to
really
do
see much of the effects. And to be
Psychosocial.
fair, I wasn't
by
right that
Slipknot,
close
but
to
then
it.
Jackson
was
and
like,
I
it's a
still
bit
felt
too
some
hard,
of the issues
and I
struggling
was like,
to see.
okay, we won't do
Psychosocial.
the top frets,
He
especially
recommended
with my guitar,
Duality,
my
and I
guitar
was
being
like,
quite
by
big,
Slipknot, and I was like,
and
you know what,
being
that's a
more
really
closer
good
to
song,
and
that would
closer
fit
to the lighting
perfectly.
And also
the bass
was
when watching this, I was
another
looking
thing
at
I'd like to talk about.
Duality.
The bass was
Duality performed live.
should have been turned up a bit.
As
going,
bass
I
is
push
very
my fingers
important.
into my
Eyes and the whole
drums,
crowd singing,
keeping
part,
that
time
I'm evaluating
and
on
and also
my
there was a
performance
few
that
valuable
happened and thought would be amazing. And the reason why I'd think that would have fitted better because of the people that were there, the way they were dressed, and then also I had a couple people asking me what music I liked, and I said Metallica, Slipknot, and all these other people, and everyone said they'd love Slipknot, and I think it would have been better. But the only reason why we couldn't have performed it is because we didn't have enough time to practice that one, as we were mainly focusing on getting my EP songs ready and perfect. Also, there was a few screw-ups. Like, I made a couple wrong power chords and start my first song, but I went straight to the right power chord. Also, in a Paranoid, we got the solo wrong. The solo was too late, and we did a wrong part of the song Jackson did, but then we just carried on playing. And Jackson, I was just looking at Jackson, waiting for him to start, and I was like, come on, it's time to, come on, it's solos here, and he played it. He said there was a few screw-ups in the solos, but I didn't really hear it, and obviously I was too much focused on what I was doing, but looking back at it, I was like, there was a few, but it fits fine, so I think it's perfectly fine. Obviously, Jackson doesn't do a lot of live performance, so I can't blame him as much. He might have been a bit shy. Also, lighting and effects it was great. There was some issues. Some of the lighting and effects wasn't what I asked for. Like, he put some green and yellow and whatever into the mix, into the lights, and all I asked for was specifically red for the entire thing, apart from Purple for Paranoid by Black Sabbath, and I'd like blue lighting for the intro and the verses for No Hope Left, which is one of my EP songs. And I think it would have just fitted the atmosphere a bit more better with the songs. Another issue was that the lighting effects was a bit too close to the lead guitarist, which is why I think he had a few screw-ups due to the solos. The lighting was too much in his face, so he couldn't really see much of the frets. And to be fair, I wasn't right that close to it. So, and I still felt some of the issues struggling to see, like, the top frets, especially with my guitar being quite big, and it being more closer to the lighting. The bass was another thing I'd like to talk about. The bass was should have been turned up a bit, as in bass is very important, helps with the drums, you know, keeping time and everything. And also there was a few valuable moments in the songs where it was just bass. Like there was an instrumental with just bass, like an interlude after the solo, and you could barely hear it. Like you couldn't hear the notes that were played because of it being quite low notes, and it wasn't like well heard. Also, another issue with the bass was that I find the moment quite funny. We're about to start to play No Hope Left, but the bass was out of tune, and Ollie shouted he was out of tune, and I was like, what are you going to do about it? Come on, just tune it. Like, the people aren't going to do anything about it, but I thought it was funny, it added to it, made it perfect. And that's the only other thing about the performance that I think we could have improved and didn't go well was that although I was very good at explaining and singing into the mic and in context about the songs, I feel like I was a bit too shy. I should have given the energy before the songs. You know, obviously I was speaking to the microphone as a front man. I should have just given the energy before the song was started, because there was like a few moments before the build up into like the proper verses, the proper good riffs, main riffs and all that stuff. And I should have just been like energy and everything, because what I was doing before the main riffs was saying, are you ready? Or like, here we go, and all that stuff. So, and a lot of people wasn't giving the energy, so it's like what I could do about it. But in conclusion to the performance, it's something I would do again. Like, I'm only, with like the stuff that I could have improved, I'm only nitpicking about it. Like, I think majority of the performance went well. Like, I think it was great. I can take this inspiration in the future, like doing stuff like doing live streams, because it's hard to form a band these days. Doing live streams, playing guitar, and playing like all Metallica songs, because I feel like it's harder to do open mics and people to enjoy it with the music that I like. But overall, I think it went pretty well and exceeded what I mostly wanted to happen for the gig. And yeah, that's what I conclude to. So I recommend myself in the future to do more performances, because I really enjoyed it and it built up a lot of excitement to my life. So thank you.